Let's see what we got here. Looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. Let's see who comes in. We are continuing our, what do you call this? Analysis? What do you call this?
Our
Analysis?
our journey into the fairy tale that is written by Mikey Gaga.
Mikey Gaga. Yes.
Hmm?
That's what we're doing. So we're going into the fairy tale of Mikey Gaga. So we are on chapter 7, Gathering Dirt. See, here's a problem when you're live because we want to start talking right away. And then people come in a couple minutes later. That's
Right.
why a lot of people use a countdown. Now, StreamYard has a YouTube countdown. They have a countdown built into StreamYard. I could put it on for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. It counts down. It gives the people a little time to get in. But
Right.
then, but then they say you shouldn't be doing that. So some of them say go right into your topic, start talking. If they're not there, shame on them.
Well,
Others
sometimes
say,
the
go ahead.
song too. Well, sometimes you start with a song, and that gives people time to come in too.
Others say use a countdown, which can be boring to people.
Yeah, you just have to sit.
You've seen those countdowns with the premieres; they're horrible.
Yeah, you have to sit there. Yeah.
Now, if you're playing a song, which I do, I play a song. People are cool with the songs.
Yeah.
You see, now people come in. We would have been talking already for 2 minutes, and they would have lost it.
Hmm.
They wouldn't have been able to pick up where we were. Right? You see?
Right. I see. I agree. I agree with
Can you
that.
see the chat or no?
Yes, I can see the chat. I see
Okay.
Girl and Big Bones and Gianni, and yeah, that's it for right now. That's all I
Yeah.
see.
So that's always the problem with people that go live.
Yeah. Mm.
They come in a little bit later and they're lost in the shuffle. That's the interesting and hello NJ Wise Guy. Hello Gianni. Hello there, Skip. How are you? All right. Yeah, we're just taking our time here. We're just talking shop in the beginning, just talking about YouTube and StreamYard, and it's a very cool vibe. We're not looking to, break the bank over here. We're just looking to have this conversation and have a good time. So what we're doing is we're talking about people coming in, who comes in, who doesn't come in, people come in late. Some people miss some of the topic. Now, when you're talking about a topic like this, Carmela, I guess when you're talking about a topic like this, you kind of want to have them hear us from the start, I assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, so they can keep up with what's happening. I mean, if they have questions later, they can ask. They can always ask.
Right.
They do a
That's
pretty
true.
they do a good
Yeah.
job of asking questions too.
So we are the furthest thing from professionals.
That's for
And,
sure.
and we say this every week. We
Yeah.
would be reading this book independently, alone anyway, and probably texting or calling each other, talking about the chapter. So all we're doing is going live and sharing with you what we're finding. So that's where we're at right here. Okay, so let's go through it a little bit. I'm going to go through it a little bit, then we'll play a little bit of the beginning. We're taking our time. Hello there, CG2, Gianni,
And
Big Bones. Who else is in here?
Maureen.
Maureen.
And Joey.
Okay.
Yep.
Joey Pope stopped in. We got BK Skip is here. Godfather Sports, where I don't know where she got that name. Godfather Sports. That's great. That is hysterical. Mr. Edwin is here wishing us blessings. Edwin says, you guys should do more shows together, different topics. It doesn't matter what you guys do. You
Mhm.
can kill it. That's what Edwin says all the time.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. We got a
Two,
good chemistry.
two New Jersey talkers.
Yeah, that's two New Jersey Dodgers. All right. So let me go on camera for a quick minute here. Hello there, Dave T from Boston. Nice to see you. We got a nice little group in here. This is you get your regulars, you get your regulars that come in. Edwin agrees. Oh, Big Bones agrees with Edwin.
Mm-hmm.
We will do more. We're not going anywhere. Wherever comes our way, comes our way. Okay, so look, I'm going on camera for a quick minute, guys. So we're on Undercover Cop, Mike Russell's book. We're on chapter 7. It's called Gathering Dirt. It's called Gathering Dirt, and we're going to get into it right after this little clip that I show you here, guys. I'm going to show you this little clip right here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay. Mike Russell, Mob Cop, and this is what it is, guys. Check this out. Check it out. Let's see.
Hey, Joe. Chap.
Hello, Mike.
How you doing? How you
Oh,
doing?
model, not
All right.
me.
Are you good? How's everything, huh?
Good, Mike.
A former New Jersey police officer has become a celebrated hero in the war against organized crime. He became an undercover cop who infiltrated one of the major crime families, resulting in the convictions of key crime figures. Crime Watch Tonight profiles this undercover crime fighter.
Mike Russell walks the streets of Westerly seemingly without a care. But ex-cop and mob infiltrator Mike Russell happened upon a mugging on this street. Two guys beating another man. Russell, partly out of cop instinct, jumped in and evened the score. Turns out the guy Russell helped was this man, Andy Gerardo, a top capo for the Genovese crime family's operation in northern New Jersey. Russell kept up his friendship with Gerardo, eventually meeting other mafia members working in the area.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Chap.
Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
Model.
All right. Are you good? How's everything, huh?
Russell kept a friend on the New Jersey Police Department informed of his developments, and before he knew it, Gerardo offered to set up an office for Russell's oil business. The deal was simple. Russell operated a so-called legitimate business, Premium Petroleum, but in the back, behind this door, the mobsters gambled and planned other crimes. All the plans, of course, were recorded by police, who placed bugs in the wall of the outer office. After 19 months of working for the mob, but really working for New Jersey State Police, Russell's labors paid off. 48 mafia members were arrested. All but one have either pleaded guilty or were found guilty.
From Channel 5 News in New York, this is the 10 o'clock news.
A 14-month undercover investigation climaxed with the arrest of dozens of alleged mobsters this morning in New Jersey. Frank Grimes and a Channel 5 camera crew were up early to join 200 state police as they raided the suspects' homes.
Early this morning, North Jersey, Operation Intrepid is underway. Tommy Pee Wee DePhillips arrested at his home. One of 41 alleged leaders and associates of the Genovese organized crime family operating in northern New Jersey that were rounded up today by New Jersey State Police. Andy Gerardo, head of the New Jersey Genovese faction. Ralph Vaccaro, second in command to Gerardo. Gerardo and the others are charged with running a $1 million a week racketeering operation centered in, but not limited to, the Newark area. The key to the case was this oil company in North Newark. The sign says Premium Petroleum.
Okay, we're going to pause it at that. We're going to pause it at that just in case they shut us down. I don't think they will, but you get the gist of it. Now, Salvatore sent me some great pictures today, Carmela. I'm going to try and load them up later.
Oh, nice.
I can't get him up for this show, but he went there. He was there at the social club today.
Oh, great.
Or yesterday. He got video and he got me great pictures. It's a laundromat now.
Oh my God, I love Sal.
Sal's the best. So, yeah, Sal's incredible. So I will be able to put side by side all of the pictures.
Very good.
And I'll try and put it together, and I'll put it in the community tab, or maybe by next week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this chapter here.
Okay.
It's called Gathering. What's it called? Gathering Dirt?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me some of the names that are mentioned in here.
Well, of course, there's Joe Zara, Sal Citrullo, Ponte. Who's Ponte? I forgot his first name. Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And Vaccaro, Ralph Vaccaro.
Ralph Vaccaro.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Who else here? Let's see what else. Who else we got in this chapter?
This Newsom person is this. Oh no, that was the informant. Hold on.
Yep, that was the informant. Right. That was the informant.
Oh,
okay.
Angelo Ponte.
Angelo Ponte, Sal Citrullo, Ralph Vaccaro, John Gotti.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Zara.
Gross. So Nelson Gross was the connected politician.
Nelson Gross was the politician that who needs the JP is in here. That's Jimmy Higgins Palmieri.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of this chapter. What was it? What was the whole
The gist of the chapter?
Yeah, what was the what was the goal of this? What was he
Well,
trying to do in this chapter?
well,
This is
he's
Mikey Gaga we're talking about.
yeah, he's I mean, so by this point they have like over 50 detectives that were on surveillance. So this is where they're gathering dirt because the money really starts to pick up because so now, Josie is moving the craps games, so he has like four storefronts where he's just shifting them around so that, you know what I mean, moving the games around so we
Yeah.
don't get caught, obviously. So so he's seeing all the money coming in and stuff like that. There's some stuff with the heating and oil business that so I guess we'll get to that. Would you want to
Right.
just that's the
Yeah.
just is about how
That was called the floating
fire
game, is what we called the floating game. The game
the
just
floating.
went from place to place. That's what it was called back then.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see where we're at here. Let's see where we're at here. Let's dip into some of this. All right. All
So
right.
start from the first page. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's go a little bit from the beginning because what actually happens here is is it the state police? Is Sweeney the state police?
Sweeney is state.
His handler? That's his agent?
That's his handler. So now they're worried that the FBI is going to come in because they're going to get wind of how big this case is, and they're going to want to take it over, and that's what they don't want to
Okay.
have happen. Right.
So Sweeney invites Gaga to his house for dinner.
He invites him over to dinner, so he knows it's some big deal because that's something that never happens, and that's where they.
That's his handler. Invites him for dinner.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, because everybody loves Mikey Gaga, so everybody wants a piece of Mikey. So he invites him over for dinner, and they basically tell him that this is where you're going to get a partner. So Mikey was not happy about that
So
because
he introduces. So in short, they get together to have dinner at Sweeney's house. There's bosses and stuff there. I mean, law enforcement bosses there, right?
Yes, law enforcement bosses, and that's where Mikey Gaga tells everybody, "I'm gonna back out of this whole deal if Sweeney doesn't remain my handler."
So basically, Sweeney was telling him it's being taken over from a higher power. You're getting a partner.
Yes, and this is our choice. And so I guess eventually, Mikey Gaga has to give his blessing or nothing happens. You know how that goes. So Mikey Gaga gets a partner whether he likes it or not. And he said it seemed like a good fit. Another Irishman, another redhead with freckles. So he said it seemed to be working for him. So he brought in another Irishman.
Okay, so we got that.
So
Okay,
now
so he threatens to be gone, right?
he threatens to leave if Sweeney doesn't remain his handler. Yes, and then the new partner. So now he's got the partner in there, but into the office that's right next to the clubhouse. He has So this guy is supposed to be in-house answering phones while Mikey Gaga is running around and collecting all the money from the machines from the stores and delivering the scam oil.
Right.
Yeah.
So he basically says he's too busy. He needs somebody in there. So Gaga has to tell the guys, I got a guy around.
I got a guy, and he's in here. And at that point, I guess that's when they got, they just started to get closer and closer. And I guess that's how they wired the place up,
But wait, he couldn't just bring a guy around.
Well,
you can't just bring a guy around. I mean,
who
so the oil place is connected to the social club, which
correct.
A
It's
lot
only
of shit was
separated
going
by a
down.
wall. Yeah, it's only separated by a wall.
That's it. A wall, right?
That's it.
Okay, so you can't just bring somebody. There can't just be a guy walking into the club or the oil place. It's just some stranger walking into that neighborhood. Right. It's not going to happen. You're talking about Davenport and 9th Street, 10th Street. Guys just don't walk in. So what is he? So he basically has to tell them.
He said, I laid some groundwork for Billy's appearance. on the scene by mentioning to Zara on a few occasions. So basically, he breaks it in. He starts talking to him about this guy that he needs a man on the phones in the office because he was spending so much time out on the road. And then I'm just trying to remember who. I guess it was Zara. Zara kind of questioned it, and he's like, "Oh, you can trust me." He said, "You can trust whoever I get, like you can trust me." I said, "That's what he said." Told
Well,
Zara.
here's what's a little funny about this because okay, so he wants to bring in his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Jimmy Higgins' son went to work with him and he couldn't handle it?
Yeah, but he didn't sit him in the office. He didn't sit him in. He brought Jimmy Higgins. Well, right. So isn't Jimmy Higgins saying, "Why don't you put my son in the
Right,
office?"
right. Why aren't the guys saying, typically the guys would say, I got somebody needs work.
Right, right.
So he's going to the guys. Who did he go to? He went to
Well, it says Zara. Zara. Well, first he went.
well, Zara hooked him up with the office space first.
Yeah, I think he's the person who was around most, is what this seems like. He keeps calling it Zara's Club because Gerardo still wasn't around because he was on parole, so he didn't.
Let's show a contradiction here. Let's show one contradiction here.
Yeah.
In the book, he says Joe Zara got him the space, right? Or Jimmy Higgins did, right?
Yes.
Who offered the place to him? Do we remember that? That was in the previous chapter.
It was JP. I thought it was JP.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Higgins. That's Jamie Palmieri.
Yeah, Jimmy
So,
Higgins. Uh-huh.
but in the video we just saw, he says Andy Gerardo offered it to him.
Oh yeah, well he wants to say Andy. Well, there's contradictions. Oh, between
Yeah.
the book,
So he contradicts.
1,000% between the book and that doc. 1,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we got the book right here where he says that Jimmy Higgins offered him the building.
And then that
and right there that you saw on the video that it was Andy Gerard.
It was Andy Gerard because he wants to end, but we're right, because everything has to be offered by the boss. Right.
Oh my God, he wants a name drop. Okay.
Now,
So
cops, now it got so big that the state police had set up a command post in a trailer behind the headquarters at the state police barracks on the Garden State Parkway. And there were only certain cops that got to work in that trailer because this was, an undercover thing and they didn't want the whole police station in on it, I guess. That was
top secret. So that barrack is about a mile from where I'm sitting right now. That's the Bloomfield Barracks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on Garden State Parkway? Yeah.
Yeah, on the Garden State Parkway, because that's the closest barracks to the neighborhood.
Got it.
So you would come off of it, go through my area here where I live, and go right down into 6th Street, and then make a right onto Davenport, which takes you right into where they were. So that was the closest barracks. So that barracks was right over here, right by me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're familiar, I don't know, with the Garden State Parkway in that area, but it's by the Bloomfield Toll Plaza.
Got it.
All right. So that's where they were. Yeah.
So now the cops were a curious bunch in the prison of the Charlotte department. Okay, so when compared to Newark, so now he compares the Newark cops. When compared to Newark, the state police thought themselves squeaky clean, yet they too had stray cops, 2 of whom were discovered when it came time to make arrests in the case. When the arrests and the search warrants were served, 2 troopers from the alleged corrupt state police organized crime bureau stole $1,000 from the $1 million in cash Sal Citrullo had stashed in his house. They were caught, convicted, and sent to prison. Cops are human, and corruption cross department lines. So Sal had $1 million in his house, and they stole $100,000 of it.
They stole $100,000 when they arrested them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now let's see this real quick. There's no mention of that. Hold on a minute. Let's show this one more time real quick here.
Oh, there's no mention in the doc. No, I watched it several times.
Let's just see what they say right here. All they say is
operation centered in, but not limited to, the Newark area. The key to the case was this oil company in North Newark. The sign says Premium Petroleum, but cops say the company didn't sell much oil. It didn't even have an oil truck. It was a phony company set up by the state police, set up right next door to Andy Gerardo's headquarters. Only a thin wall separated the undercover cops in Premium Petroleum from the alleged hoods in Gerardo's headquarters.
Okay, that's a little interesting right there. No.
Hoods.
because he had oil trucks. Remember, he said he had oil trucks in here.
Yeah, but he did, but it was never anything consistent. So he was kind of making fun of the fact that he never had a consistent truck. The trucks that he was using were here and there. This
He was
and that.
borrowing them, yeah, from
You know
that
what I
guy.
mean? No
Yeah.
name stenciled on the truck. So
Yeah, he was borrowing them from that guy.
right, trying to make like everybody stupid.
Yep. Okay. All right, let's go forward a little bit here.
Right. So activity went down, accompanied by the audio recording and the voices of the wise guys as they talked themselves into prison. So I guess that's when they started wiring everything, up. On any given day, at least 20 made guys, including bosses and associates, came and went from the club. Members from other crime families, primarily the Gambinos, also stopped by frequently, as did mobsters from Philadelphia. So that's all true.
100% accurate because I've seen it all. So yes, that did happen every day because it was a true social club, one of probably 10 in a 10-block area.
Right. And so this guy, what's his name, Billy. So they basically had one cop on surveillance per member, right? So the cops were basically on foot. So they would follow them until they got to their car on the outside. And then when they got in their car, they would call it in. And then the cops would surveil them, from there.
After they would leave, after they would trace him, they would track him. Yeah,
right. To their car and then call it in. And then, and then they would follow them, by car.
He basically said they had a guy for a guy.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
That's a little extreme.
Well, it is. It's very extreme. I mean, he said there were 50 cops. He said there were 50. What do they call them? 50 detectives.
I can't see it.
There's now over 50 detectives were on surveillance. That's in my notes. I took that note.
So that's a little difficult because I got to tell you.
Well, there's only 41 members, so we got 50.
But I got to tell you, because there was going to be some local cops that are corrupt. He said it himself.
Yes.
How corrupt the organization, the cops are. You're going to tell me that 40 out of that 50 agents watching, nobody broke? Nobody was on the payroll in the neighborhood? Come on.
Right. Come on.
That seems like quite a bit, no?
That seems like a lot of bit. There's
50 agents.
That's more detectives than there are members.
Right. Yeah, there was 42 members. So 58, right, 41. Yeah, Octavia knows. Octavia said 50 cops for 41 wise guys. She's right. So, yeah. So, okay. So wait a minute. 50 cops on the beat right there waiting to trail somebody. So they're sitting a few blocks away waiting for Gaga to make a call that Sal Citrullo or Ralph Vaccaro left. Track him, right?
Track him.
Right. Track him. So 50 there.
Yep.
5 at the barracks. I'm going to use a fake number. 5 at the barracks.
Right.
A judge waiting to execute a warrant on demand.
Right.
For what? For gambling.
For slot and poker games. Right.
For poker.
Right. Yeah. I approached Ralph Vaccaro one afternoon in front of the club, and Vaccaro was a respected capo about Zara's age, and he had been in the crew since the 60s, and he was easy to talk to. So I felt if I came up with a good idea, he'd implement it. So Mikey Gaga comes up with the brilliant idea. He's going to block off. Now he's going to block off how many blocks? 1 block, 2 blocks?
Well, okay, so let's go back. So Mikey Gaga says to, I think, Ralph Vaccaro.
It's 1 block, yeah, yes.
Which he's an idiot, because had he been so close with Ralph Vaccaro, he would know his nickname was Spud.
There's not one nickname in the whole book.
There's not one nickname in here. I know these guys by nickname. Sometimes it takes me a minute to put the real names together because I know the nicknames. Ralph Vaccaro is Spud.
The real person, you only know the nickname. And there's no
Ralph Vaccaro is Spud. So if he was that deep in, he would know Ralph Vaccaro is Spud. He would know JP is not Jimmy Palmieri, is Jimmy Higgins. He would know this stuff, and he's saying none of this stuff.
No.
None of it at all. Zero. So anyway, he says he goes to Ralph Vaccaro and says, we got, too much.
But he said, guys are complaining about the parking. The parking is a nightmare. And of course, he said none of the guys were complaining. I just told them this because he wanted, and then Vaccaro don't know. So he said, yeah, okay, go ahead, do it. So he ropes off the whole block. So they go around town and they tell everybody, you're not allowed to park on this block. And now it's really roped off because now all you have are wise guys and cops on that whole entire block. That's all that's there at this point.
Yeah, that.
Within 2 days, he says, within 2 days, Davenport was ours.
Okay. Octavia, no, he's saying this, Octavia. And what we're doing is showing that it's not possible. So
yeah.
He's saying that they trusted him, Octavia, but there's absolutely no way. There's no way that they complained to Mikey Gaga about parking before they complained to Ralph Vaccaro or Joe Zara or somebody else.
He said, yeah, like he's the go-to now. Like they can't complain to him about parking. What are you talking about?
Right. So Gianni's got it right there. He's got the right comment there. So yeah. So he said that he made this up where they blocked off the come on.
They blocked off the whole block. Yep. And within days, Davenport was ours. JP and I went to the warehouse in South Jersey to pick up a shipment of video poker machines and store them in the warehouse close to the club. The following day, so now he's going to deliver the new poker games or new ones, old ones. Remember all the ones that he had to take out of Patterson because that was Gatto's area? He had to take the poker games out of there, store them in this warehouse. And now JP handled the sales pitch and he was supposed to go around to these stores and, let them know that we're going to bring these new machines into your store. And then we'll be by at the end of the week for our collections and you'll get a percentage or whatever. And he said, you really have no choice. So basically some of the people that didn't want to do it, supposedly Jimmy Higgins told them you have no choice. And they put the machines in there.
Okay. Quite honestly, I got to be quite honest with you. I hung around there a little bit in that neighborhood and nobody had to be convinced. Believe me. Nobody had to be convinced to put a machine in the back.
Convinced. Get a payment at the end of the week?
Yeah, they got some money and everybody was pretty cool with it. Yeah, I had a mom and pop shop there. You had a butcher there and nobody. But it wasn't in every single store. So he's making it sound like it went into every mom and pop store and forced them. It was about, I'd say from North 6 down to probably 10th. There was probably maybe 10 machines, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then you went across town to Roseville Avenue where the finish line was. And there was about 6 or 7 stores there that had them. Nobody had to be convinced of anything.
No, I mean,
nobody had to be convinced.
Not like they beat him over the head and told me how to do this thing. That's the way you're trying to make it sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now the new guy, so the only person supposedly who questioned it was Jimmy Higgins. So who's the new guy? Where do you know him from? And he tells JP to relax.
Gaga tells JP to relax.
Tell him relax. He's a stand-up guy. He said, relax. He's a stand-up guy. I can vouch for him. Oh, well, say no more.
Mikey Gaga vouched for him.
Say no more. He's in. He could come and do it once. Yep.
He is that guy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy. This is the guy that he told made guys to vouch for right here. This guy.
Right. He's going to do that, and he's also going to tell them about the parking. So he's doing everything. So
this guy.
Using in the video camera,
hold on a minute.
Cops were able to
hold on
daily activities, which included at times running a casino there.
This
the grand
guy.
jury has been hearing evidence against the Gerardo faction, and indictments are expected. Frank Grimes, Channel 5 News.
The mobsters in the back are not the only ones fooled by my new life as a
low-level
gangster.
Right there.
As we get nearer and nearer to the day of the big rage, we're going to take the bad guys down. Even my cop buddies from the old days refused to talk to me. I was completely cut off.
Okay, so him right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the knucklehead right there that he's saying he had the power to vouch for people in the neighborhood.
Everybody,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Gaga by now. He's infiltrated the whole situation. He's the only one they go to. So basically, so JP is asking, and he just says he's from Jersey City. He's an Irish, and they know, and he just goes into saying, he's an Irishman from Jersey City, and the wise guys wouldn't know any better because they don't really deal with anybody who's not Italian, so they wouldn't even know about that neighborhood.
Oh my God.
He said, I know people who know him. He's okay. Relax. That's what he said. Look, page 103. I know people who know him. He's okay. Relax. Okay.
He's with me, basically.
Yeah. And JP said, yes, sir.
So 103, he's saying he's with me, basically?
Basically, yeah. I know people who know him. What does that mean?
He's telling maid guys he's with me.
Yeah, he's with me. He's good. Relax.
Oh my God.
Relax.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, Jersey City, right. He said, I vouch for him. Jersey City, a big Irish community, blah, blah, blah. I knew JP, much less anyone else in the crew, would not be familiar with anyone who lived there, which is not true. He said that these guys from Newark would not be.
They know everybody everywhere. What are you talking about right now?
Jersey City was big back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that area over there. So he's saying there would be no way that they would. This is such nonsense. Because right away they would reach out to Jersey City or Hoboken or somebody over there.
Right. As if they don't have somebody everywhere.
Right. He's making it sound like it's another country.
Exactly.
It's Jersey. It's Jersey City. Jersey.
Exactly. Right.
And he's 100% Irish. Yes, Octavia. Yep.
And right. Red hair and freckles. The two of them. Billy knew a lot about horse racing, and that made his transition from the so okay, it happened quickly, and the transition was good, and they love to talk about horse racing. Here's my thing. I don't think he had many conversations with anybody. I don't think he went
Gaga or the other guy.
Gaga or the other guy. So he's trying to make it sound like now the other guy is infiltrated himself into this thing, and he's sitting around with the guys, drinking espresso, talking about horse racing. What are you talking about? That did not happen.
It's not that easy.
Thank you.
It's not that easy. Quite honestly, he makes it sound like it's not that easy.
No. You're in your side. You're on the other side of this wall. You are not in the club where the last chapter tried to make it sound like he was invited in. Oh, now I'm in. Now I could do everything. No. You drilled a freaking hole in the wall, and that's where you put the camera.
Hold on. Don, that's a great question. And actually, this whole thing that myself and Carmela are doing is probably the reason. Why hasn't Gaga hooked up with all the other storytelling rats? That's what Don McHugh says. And that's a great question.
Well,
and I will say this, because there's more holes in his story than anybody on here.
Well, yeah, that, and he's already been sued, but I would imagine that you get on here and say whatever you want, because all of these other idiots that are on this freaking
Look at Johnny. Oh my God.
Gaga is respected. Oh my God, that's beneath him. He's not going to get on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Right. An associate. The big associate. Oh my God.
So
yeah,
Don, he won't come on here. He HBO canceled him. He got sued by somebody that what did he do? He what do you call it? He what'd he do to the kid Joey? What did he do? He spoke out of school. What do you call that? He lied.
Oh, he lied. He straight up lied.
He said he
got shot in the head.
He shot him, right? Yeah, he said he shot him. Right.
Oh, I always forget his last name, that kid.
Oh, Riccardi.
Oh, Joey Riccardi. Okay. So
the older Joe Riccardi, not JoJo. JoJo's the kid.
Oh, the father. Okay.
So JoJo's okay. It's the father.
Okay.
That I was corrected on that by somebody, actually.
Okay.
Just so you do know, I was corrected on that.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully. I was respectfully corrected on that. Yes.
So and this is where he says he was almost exclusively on the road, delivering fake heating and oil and slot machines. He picked up the machines in a warehouse in Point Pleasant that was managed by an associate named Pat Sparino. Do you know who that is?
I know clearly who that is. Vinny and Pat Storino own Jenkinson's, all of it.
Oh, okay.
They own all of Seaside right now and all of Point Pleasant. Who'd they say, Pat or Vinny? Pat?
Pat. Pat Sparino.
Okay, Pat and Vinny are brothers. Pat and Vinny Storino are brothers. They are the nephew of Jimmy Sinatra.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Who Tessette is doing life for the murder.
Oh, my God.
You see how it all comes around?
Yep. Yep.
So Storino is Jimmy Sinatra, their nephew.
Okay.
See how it all comes around?
Yeah.
Wow, it's interesting. Wow.
So it's looking like he's picking up these drums, these containers that he's assuming are filled with the toxic waste, right? So he's picking them up and they're labeled, these drums are labeled driveway sealer. Okay. And he's picking them up from a company in Tony Scarsdale, New York. The loads came from a truck. And yeah, this is where he says, I can only assume the buckets contain cheap toxic material that was being passed off as driveway sealer. I put the supposedly legitimate building company on the search warrant list. So now they're added to the search warrant list. But here's the thing, right? Me and Tommy were just talking about this before the show. He's trying to talk about all this toxic waste, but there was not one charge. So whatever he did, he either couldn't prove it or it just never happened.
Well, let's go to the videotape real quick. Hold on a minute.
Sure.
Let's check this. Because this is kind of gonna co-sign what we're saying right now, because what happens here is there is no. Let's see what the arrest is. Let's see.
At lunchtime, I call up an old friend of mine, a guy I went to the police academy with. He's a lieutenant in East Orange Police, Danny Cullinane. And I said, Danny, how about some lunch today? I figured we'd go out. I'm not going to see this guy anymore after the arrest take place. He says, Mike, you're so hot right now, I wouldn't come near you with a 10-foot pole. That's because I'm in the store. Everybody figures I'm a mob guy.
Oh.
And he yells to the dispatcher. He says,
oh, Gaga.
He's a mob guy.
Gaga. Everybody look at him. Everybody figures I'm a mob guy. Look at him. Look.
The Mama
Lugera. Look at him. Hold on a minute. Oh my God.
Wait.
What?
Oh, look at him. He looks like Elmer Fudd.
Hold on a minute. Oh my God.
Now, and he said, you care to divulge your whereabouts right now? I said, come on, Danny. I said, he says, Nike. I said, no good. We don't want nothing to do with you. And I said, all right, Danny. I said, just, everybody's got to make a living. I wanted to tell him, but I can't. The job is my top priority. And he'll find out in a week's time that I was really on a level and I never did change sides. The night before the raids, I was all psyched up then. And I was hoping for an immense success.
Now look at how excited he is. But I'm pointing something out after we see this here. Let's see this here. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep that night. I was walking around like an expectant father myself. Oh. And then I waited and I watched. At 4 o'clock rolled around. I said, here we go, D-Day. And then, make a long story short, I got a phone call 10:30 in the morning. Nick says, Mike. I could tell by the tone of his voice. He said, Mike. He said, we hit a grand slam.
Okay, so he's the top guy. Can you imagine, Gianni? Carmela, I'm dying over here. This is hysterical.
I'm dying.
Look at Andy. Andy always looking sharp. Hold on a minute. Let's see.
Had it all laid on for them. Arrest, booking, and a little ride to the bail hearing.
Andy. Hey, Pee-wee.
Oh, forget about it. Go find a job.
Pee-wee, what happened? You got the picture of me fucking your mother last night. Hey, Ralph. What happened?
That's Ralph. That's Spud. That's Vaccaro right there.
Mm.
Okay, so basically they get pinched for what? What are they pinched for there?
Gambling.
They're pinched for gambling. So Octavia says, what about this stuff? What about this toxic? Where is she?
Well, she didn't pay it. Sorry, not pay attention. She wasn't here for the other chapters. So what
Yes, yes.
they siphoned all of this oil out of these transformers or whatever they did, and they mixed it with kerosene, and they were selling it off as like straight heating oil when it was diluted, so they were making a ton of money. That was
Right.
that was the big scam. Why it went from selling this toxic, material for
Right.
heating oil turned into now it needs to be dumped. That's where that's what I don't get.
Okay, so here's the thing. So Octavia, yes, gambling and toxic waste. So folks, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, but they didn't
What
get
is more what
toxic.
hold on. What is more harmful to the public?
Mhm.
Toxic barrels of what? What do you call it? Chemical waste?
Chemical waste, toxic chemical.
What's more harmful to the community? Toxic barrels of waste being dumped all over North Jersey, or what do they call it? Poker? What do you call it? The machines?
That's right.
The Joker pokers.
Right.
So gambling or toxic waste? What's more harmful
Right.
to the
Right.
world?
So if there's any truth to it, either he screwed up that part of the investigation,
Yeah, right.
or
Good.
or this never happened. I'm
Good
gonna
point.
go with this never happened.
Or he's that stupid and he fucked up that part of the scam.
Or he's that stupid and it got fucked up. Well, don't forget there's 50 detectives, so everybody's a big dummy. I think that was another time. I think that was another thing. I think that his big bust was only this. He just added all this crap to the book. These are legitimate things that did happen in New Jersey. There was toxic waste dumped in the rivers. There's no question.
100%. No
No
doubt.
question.
100%.
Right. 1,000%. But was he part of that? No, he was not. No, he was not. Because if he was, they would have gotten in trouble for it. Eventually they did get in trouble for it.
Wait, they got in trouble for the toxic waste?
I thought so eventually, because I remember seeing it on news and stuff like that.
Okay, I got it.
We got to look into that. We got to look into seeing if they ever got in trouble for it.
I think that was in the documentary. I don't think that was in the arrests.
No,
I could be wrong.
in real life, outside the doc and outside this book.
Oh, no, of course. No. There was other. Yeah. Oh, no.
So they got in. So outside of all of this, they did get in trouble. What I'm saying is,
sure. Many times.
Into this, making it seem like he was part of the oil scam when he wasn't, and the toxic waste and all that. Because eventually they did get in trouble for it, but not through this investigation. No one went to jail for this at all. It was all loan sharking, gambling, and racketeering.
So it was a gambling pinch, basically.
A gambling pinch, right? That's why they for 3 years.
So guys, we're jumping around, and what we're doing is just like we would be conversating together. You're just along the conversation route with us. So we may jump around, go back and forth, but you all should be getting the gist of everything by now. I would assume.
Yeah.
You kind of understand the players now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
All right. Let's dip a little more in here. Okay. We're still in the chapter of what's this called?
Gathering dirt.
Okay. Let's move along.
Demolition, the Colgate factory in Jersey City.
Oh, I remember.
And then the demolition was handled by Interborough Carding, which was owned by Angelo Ponti. So he owned the company. He owned the company that did the demolition. Do you know Angelo Ponti?
I do not know, and he was a Manhattan guy. I did not know him at all. Zero.
Okay.
He was a Lower East Side guy, if I recall.
and it said Ponte.
Maybe somewhere else. It was in New York City, but
Oh yeah, It's because he was run afoul by Rudy Giuliani, who was a federal prosecutor before he became the mayor of New York, and
right,
was
right.
Ponte away on federal antitrust convictions.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah, Ponte
Jesus.
had been involved in a few heating oil scams of Gerardo's crew in the past, and was now directing the illegal dumping of tons of toxic waste that were pulling out of the building. So all the toxic waste, Gianni said it. So where's Gianni's comment? There was a lot of issues with dumping asbestos and certain toxic waste going on back then that had
True.
the side hemmed up.
That's
That's
true.
but right, but it didn't have anything to do
With Gaga.
with yes, they all got in trouble. So he knew they got in trouble. He just inserted that into this book like it was something he was part of, and he wasn't. Did it happen? It certainly did. Did they get in trouble? They certainly did. I don't know who or got arrested for that. None of these guys. None of these 41 people that I'm aware of.
Octavia, this
Oh,
actually did happen right here. Octavia, it is real overall. The exaggeration which is in here to make a book is what we're pinpointing basically. So Octavia, a lot of this did happen. He just, what do you call, embellish? He embellish it. What is
oh
embellish is the word, I
God,
guess?
Bella. Oh, and definitely.
Embellish.
So, Octavia, just to catch you up a little bit. So basically,
Octavia is on point tonight. I gotta give
yeah,
you credit.
right. Yeah. So they set up the surveillance and the cameras and the wires so that they could hear these things. So what this idiot Mikey Gaga did was insert himself into these stories as he was part of them. And I don't believe for a minute that he was part of any of this. I think he took the tapes, listened to them, and then inserted himself in the story
To make the book.
to make the book and the documentary that the HBO had to rip down off out of the thing. HBO had to shut it down because they found out that Mikey Gaga is a pathological liar and nobody shot him in the head. It was all a lie. So
Wow.
yeah.
So that was a lie. He took basically evidence and made a book out of evidence. Somewhat.
Right. Yes, absolutely. He took
Kind of,
yeah,
kind of.
pretty much. I mean, was he there? Yeah, he was there. He was definitely there. I mean, but yeah, there's a lot of embellishments. There's no way there was 50 detectives for 41. That's just crazy. It's just crazy. There's no way. There's no way somebody's putting out that kind of money. Gianni said it earlier. He's like, boy, they sure are spending a lot of money to catch a couple guys gambling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really bookmaking. Yeah, that's it.
Right. They're gonna pay 50 detectives. Stop it.
No.
um,
Stop it. You're crazy.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
know. And he said, okay, so during my daily trips, he'd catch Ponte staring at him. I ignored him, and he approached me one day and was like, "Oh, you're a cop, aren't you?" And he said, the normal reaction would be to say, deny it up and down. And he said, so Mikey Gaga played it different. He said, "Yeah, you're right. I'm a effing cop. I'm working undercover, and all you mother effers will be in jail by this time next year." And with that, Ponte looked at him and laughed. After Mikey Gaga supposedly told this guy, like it was a joke. Yeah,
Yeah.
all you guys are going to be in jail by this time next year.
Yes.
What?
He made a joke of it when it. Yeah. Right. To a New York
Oh,
guy.
and he said, look at the bottom of 105. He said, and instead, Ponte broke the stalemate because it was a stare off. Now, I got to tell you, Mikey Gaga said, if there's a stare off and you're staring at each other, if you're the first one to break, they're going to know that you're full of shit. That's what he
Oh my
said.
God.
He
He is
said,
literally.
instead, Ponte broke the stalemate and started laughing. You're a funny mother effer, Mikey. What?
He is hysterical.
Isn't this guy out of his mind?
Let's see a little more. Hold on. Let's just see what a simpleton he is. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Let's check this out a little bit more. Let's go. Because I'm getting entertainment now out of watching him.
He's so funny. He's so funny looking.
He's a nut. Well, this might be the end of this segment right here. Let me see.
I have no idea whether Andy's going to send one of his mobsters to come after me. But like I said, if he does and some nickel and dime hood outsmarts me, then shame on me. But I'm going to take every precaution to make sure this doesn't happen. I've been in life and death situations before. I don't run scared. I've had a gun right here during a holdup, right there. And if they come after me, they better be ready for World War III to break out, because I fight fire with fire.
I just cannot see any wise guy talking to him, taking him seriously at all. Look at him.
He looks like Elmer Fudd.
He's not okay. He's not good.
He's not. And so listen, what did he just call them? A nickel and dime hood. Okay, hold on. It was the gambling and the card games were $1 million a week. Sal Citrullo had $1 million in his house. Do you think that's the only house that had money in it? Do you think that was the only? Come on. That's how much money they were making. And he just called them nickel and dime hoods. Okay.
Now, if Sal was the bank, he may have had that money in there, and there's a lot of money in there, you know.
Oh yeah, I
if
believe
he was
that.
the bank, I don't know who was the bank at that time. If Sal was the bank, there's a good chance, but typically it's not in the house.
Typically, well, preferably not your own.
Yes. Yeah, typically it's not in your own house, right? No.
No.
All right.
Sal Citrullo came into my office a few days later and asked me to take a ride with him to help him with a thing in Edgewater. So I'm on 106 if you want to get over there.
Yep, I'm there. I'm getting there. Hold on. 106 and 107. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Yep. And so
So Sal came into his office. Okay.
So Sal, oh my, can you imagine? Sal walked into his. Okay, I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry.
42 wise guys playing poker next door. Sal walks into Mikey Gaga's office and says, "Take a ride with me. We got to take care of a thing."
Right, I need you to come help me with a thing. And he said, it's a friend of mine. He said, a friend of mine is referred to as a civilian. A non-member of the mafia, a friend of ours, refers to as a made guy and associate. Obviously, from Citrullo's brevity, he didn't wish to elaborate. So I stopped asking questions and went with him. So now Sal is going to bring Mikey Gaga over to Binghamton. A ferry, where
a restaurant. It's basically a restaurant.
A restaurant in Edgewater. A restaurant in Edgewater, correct?
On the Hudson River, yeah.
Owned by Nelson Gross, a connected politician with a checkered past, was the owner and Citrullo's buddy with the problem. So the problem was, his restaurant was getting robbed. There was a lot of cocaine. People were stealing money. All kinds of stuff was happening. So basically, Mikey Gaga is the muscle, and Sal said, he's our security expert. That's what he said. He said he used to be a cop. Citrullo looked at me. He said, "Mikey, handle this."
Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So Gross had served federal time for tax fraud, and the conspiracy was involved in many crimes and shady dealings. So he's crooked too. He's a crooked politician. What else is new?
So not only is he saying Sal takes a civilian, which is because Mikey Gaga is a civilian.
1,000%. Oh, but
he takes him on mob business instead of some of his guys.
The second one, the first time he took him to freaking Manhattan to meet which Gotti? Which Gotti?
I forget which one it was.
The Garment District Gotti guy. Him.
No, Gambino.
Oh, Gambino. No. Sorry.
He took him to
Tommy
Gambino. Yes.
Tommy Gambino. The Garment District. Right.
So so Sal Citrullo takes this guy. No, Joe Zara took him, right? Or Sal?
Oh no, Zara took him to meet Tommy Gambino. And now
Right.
Sal is going to take
Come
him
on.
to meet.
He takes Mikey Gaga to meet Tommy Gambino, Don Carlo's son.
Oh my God, I can't.
Right? Did you hear what we just said?
Yes.
Mikey Gaga says that Joe Zara, a made guy under Andy, takes Mikey Gaga to meet Tommy Gambino, Don Carlo's son, for a meeting.
It's also painful.
Oh my God.
Painful.
Oh my Lord.
And this guy, this Nelson Gross guy, he was married to Noelle Love, the heiress.
Hold on, Gianni, did you hear that? Joe Sarah's to meet Tommy Gambino. Oh my God. I can't.
Mike Gaga, of all the people, he's going to bring him to the Garment District to meet Tommy Gambino.
I can't. Oh my
And
God.
so-
You're doing good. You remembered that.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's absolutely he is so his ego is so inflated. It's just something else. I mean, to the point where he felt comfortable taking the story to listen. I give him credit. He made it. He made it to HBO. They bought that thing. They didn't. They bought it. They
bought it.
They bought it. I mean,
Until they bought it all until the book.
They bought it all until the book, and then yes, I would like to know how long it was aired. That is something I would really love to know.
Okay,
Because
I saw that on HBO in 2001.
Is that when it was? Really?
I'm gonna think I saw it a long time. 2001, 2002-ish, 2003, maybe.
Oh, thank you, Bobo. He's sweet.
Maybe 2003. Carmela should sign up to order. Yeah, Carmela's great. Absolutely, Bobo. Yes, she got a great voice. So I'm gonna think 2002-ish. I don't know. I'm just using. I'm just going off the top of my head. If I really processed it,
2002.
I can come up.
But wait a minute. So wait. So if HBO put this out in 2002 and this book came out in 2013, because Andy died in 2012, so he couldn't wait till Andy was in the ground before he ran to the publisher, right? So
It was already in written.
Oh, 1,000%.
It was already in written. Apparently, they did not execute until Andy was dead. But the documentary was out already. So CG2, HBO had no idea. Just like the Netflix have no idea about Anthony Reggiano, and they don't have any idea. So CG2, what happened was they just had it. They put all these clips together. They came up with a documentary. And they put it out, and shame on them is the later part where the book came out, where it contradicts everything that was in the HBO documentary, which you cannot find because HBO got rid of it.
Right. And then he got sued because he said that Joey Perna shot him in the head, and they found out that was all a lie. So Joey,
not Joey Perna, Joey.
You said
Joey.
You said Perna earlier.
No, not Joey Perna. Joey. Riccardi.
Oh, Riccardi. Sorry. Joey Riccardi. So yeah. So sorry, Joey Riccardi.
Yeah, Joey Riccardi.
When they found out the truth that Joey Riccardi did not shoot him in the head, and that Joey Riccardi sued Mikey Gaga, HBO had no choice but to take it down. So if the book came out in 2013 and this was aired early 2000s.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was out for a while.
A long gap.
Wow.
I mean, we have it on VHS from HBO and everything.
Right. That's
because everybody in the area was analyzing this HBO special. Everybody around here was analyzing this HBO special, so we had it on VHS and everything. Oh, it was like a movie to us.
Right.
Like I sat on the couch and watched it with my mother, and we're like, "What the?" We watched it. Like we watched it.
Oh wow. So, that's pretty cool. I wish.
Yeah. I got the VHS somewhere, but from the original. Now, what you see on YouTube is somebody was able to clip it and put parts up.
Oh my God, I'm so glad they did.
Yeah, so we were able to see it, and that's how Gerard watched it.
Yes.
Octavia, you cannot imagine how weird.
Right?
Yeah, because I was
Bobo,
there,
yeah.
like
Yo
I was
should have done
there.
homework before airing anything. You're 1000% correct.
Yeah, so all right, so let's finish this little bit of chapter here. Okay, so he takes him to the meeting. He takes Joey Adonis. Just guys, just search mob cop Mike Russell.
Yeah,
And
Mob Cop, Mike Russell. And there's 4 parts.
yeah, there's 4 parts.
But if I go to clip the link and put it, I wasn't able to do it.
Okay, hold on, Mike F. Hold on, this is an important question, Mike F. We missed this one. So, okay, what? Yeah, just search Mike Russell mob cop and you'll find them all. There's a whole bunch of clips. Okay, the timeline of this sting. Oh, I could tell you clearly. That was I was there when Pee Wee got out. Pee Wee got out in 93 from this pinch. So 88, 89ish, 80 something, late 80s, maybe
Right.
early 90s.
I think that, but I thought Sal got arrested in 86. Well, maybe there were 2 arrests. I don't know.
Look, it's very possible. I remember Tommy.
Yeah.
I remember Pee Wee coming home 90.
Because
I'm going to say 93 because they had to redo the whole social club before he came home. I remember when he came home. I remember the day he came home. They redid my cousin redid the whole social club. They cleaned everything up. Everything was ready when Pee Wee came home. We had the coming home party, and he got a nice silver Coupe de Ville.
Oh man.
A nice gray Coupe de Ville with a black top. His garage was tiled and ready for him.
Wow.
To cook. Gianni's talking about cooking. When Pee Wee came home, they had a silver Cadillac with a black rag top on it, silver gray interior, gray or silver, whatever. It was a gray Coupe de Ville, and he was this tall. He was like 4 foot nothing, right?
Oh my God.
He almost needed a booster seat to drive this Cadillac. Basically, he was this tall. That's where he got the name Pee Wee. So he came home. They got him a silver Cadillac, gray interior, black top, and they tiled his garage to park it in before he came home. It was interesting, man. It was interesting. So I'm going to say that was around 93-ish. So okay. Octavia, I'm going to say between what Carmela's saying and what I'm saying, I'm going to go between 87 and 93, just around that time frame.
Quite
right? Does that sound right or no?
Yeah, no, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right to me. So now he plans all right, they hired he put undercover cops as waiters and waitresses and people at the door to infiltrate this restaurant to find out what's going on and catch who's stealing. So then he said he paid in cash for doing this, most of it going to Citrullo and on up the ladder.
So hold on. Let's go back a minute real quick because we jumped around a little bit. So what Carmela's talking about right now is that Sal took Gaga to a restaurant on the Hudson River because this guy was having problems. He was being robbed. And Sal brought Mikey Gaga to provide security for this guy who was a friend of Sal's, right?
Yes, the guy was a friend of Sal's and he was the crooked politician.
Okay, he was the crooked politician. He went to them for
yes.
Go ahead. He went for them for protection. He went for them for what? What did they call Sal for?
They called, for protection to find out, help me out. I'm getting robbed blind. And so then basically what Mikey Gaga says is, this is how the mob infiltrates themselves into these restaurants. They get a piece of the restaurant. And this is where he goes into the entire scene from Goodfellas. I'm sorry, it's almost word for word. So when it's times like these, I just want to throw the book straight out the window. But but I just keep reading because
What
Tommy
does he
wrote.
say? Listen, guys, if anybody saw Goodfellas, listen to what Carmela's about to say right now. This is how Mikey Gaga explained Sal Citrullo explaining it to him of what happens. Go ahead, Carm. Come on,
No,
do it.
Octavia, Sal was not the muscle. Sal was called in to bring the muscle and to infiltrate the building with people to get it under control and get, find out who's robbing this guy. No, Sal wasn't the muscle. Sal was the money. Sal was the money. So Sal gets paid to do what he's doing and bring in Mikey Gaga, who was supposed to be the muscle. Mikey, and then he brought in a bunch of cops and infiltrated the building. And so now everybody's in the building, and so they get outside, and Sal tells them, "Yo, you did a good job in there." And he says, "I always do a good job, Sal." Okay.
Okay.
So
So now
now,
Mikey Gaga has to staff the place, right?
yes. So he staffs the place. Yes. And you're doing good here. We offer to drop Gross's weekly nut for a piece of the place. We're gonna bust out the joint. So that's what he's saying. So now he offers to do this thing for a piece of the business. So that's why Sal's there, for the money part of it. So he negotiates this thing. He's gonna, and so he gets a piece of the business. Now this is where Mikey Gaga makes it sound like busting out is a business scam, obviously, and he goes into explaining what that is, where wise guys work their way into the business by integrating themselves in until the owner and he becomes a silent partner. So they start putting everything on credit. They order more supplies than needed, and then they sell, the deal. Then they sell the supplies, and everybody gets paid, and all the money goes, up the ladder. So, they sell it. The
They
wise
use
guy.
the credit. They buy
They
everything
get
with
the
the
credit.
credit.
So right. So now, so the two things that the mob loves to do this to, according to Mikey Gaga, is restaurants and clothing stores, because it was easy to move those products, which is in every mob movie. Every mob movie has a truck full of suits. We all know. So, and
No,
then
but you're missing something. He basically does it word for word.
oh
Where is that? Where is
oh
that? Hold on a minute.
okay,
Where is that?
okay. I would say on 109, when the
Yeah,
business,
yeah. 109.
here,
Right.
when the business's credit is shot all to hell and the mob can't squeeze another credit order, they burn the joint down for the insurance money and walk away. That is 1000%.
So
Word
where did you hear that, guys? Where did you hear that, guys? Where
from
did
the
that come from?
Goodfellas. I
And
just
The Sopranos with the sporting goods store.
I want to set my own. Yes, I want to set my own book on fire when it comes to stuff like that. I'm like, this guy's he's got a sense of humor. I'll tell you that.
He really does. He's not that creative, but
No, he's not. No, he's not.
he's creative. Listen to me. Listen, he's creative to people that are not like you and I. If the regular guy just reads this,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but,
He
but,
just.
but he's going word for word what they said in Goodfellas.
Oh, 1000%. That whole top.
And he's bust the joint out. Right, Daniel Arizari, bust the joint out. He's
Right.
basically going word for word what they said, what Henry said in Goodfellas, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And Sopranos, when they took over the sporting goods store, same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a movie, Bobo.
Yes.
It is we're on 109 pages.
Yes.
I'll give you 30 true pages so far.
Yes.
And that's just the names. That's
and
only
that's
the
names and the location. Right. The names and
location. Look. There's no lie. He was on location. He was there. He was on Bloomfield Avenue. He was on 8th Street. He was around. But no. See, here's what's funny. Okay, we're done with this chapter though, or no?
Well, no, well then okay. So the owner gives a new partner should be dealt with accordingly. Gross would eventually be found stabbed and bludgeoned to death in September of 1997 on Manhattan's West Side. That's the guy who owned the restaurant. They found him dead. Two of Gross's busboys on the Binghamton were later charged and convicted of his murder. But for now, Gross wasn't through. I mean, so he skips around. So now he's talking about Gross being dead, but then he said, but for now, Gross wasn't through asking for favors, and we would soon enough find out what else he needed.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's why Sal brought him there, because Gross is now gonna, So Sal went
Okay.
there to become part of the business, according to him. Who knows? Who knows?
So Sal brings Mikey Gaga to help Gross's business. He's getting robbed, this, that, the other thing.
Right. And
Okay.
then Sal gets
What happens to Gross? Where does Gross end up?
Gross ends up dead. Eventually.
Gross ends up
Eventually he's found dead and bludgeoned to death in September of 97. So
in Manhattan on the west side.
On the west side. But for now, Gross is just, sitting back and letting Mikey Gaga infiltrate his restaurant. And
Wait a minute. This is a west side story.
Yeah.
And they find Gross on the west side. This is a little interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is a story about the west side. And they found Tommy. Wait, you didn't hear that Scorsese consulted with Gaga while working Goodfellas? Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah, Genovese, Octavia. This is a Genovese story. Yes.
Yeah.
And then they did find him on the west side.
Yep. And that's
interesting.
Was chapter 7.
That was chapter 7. Okay.
The Tales of Mikey Gaga.
Tales of Mikey Gaga. So, okay. Okay. So the next chapter, I'm going to dip into it just because I went ahead and read. How did I find this interesting? I don't know. But we are getting into some of the nuts and bolts of the story. So I'm just going to give you a little background real quick. There's 2 things I want to talk about. And hold this thought for me, Carmela. Their surveillance is one thing I got to go back to. You got to remember that. But I'm going to go into 8 for a quick second where this Mama Luguera, Gaga says, in the next chapter, they go about how they wire up the place. We're going to get into that next week. The next chapter is wiring it up, getting this, surveillance, the sound, all of that stuff. That's the next chapter where we're going to next week. You're going to hear about how the surveillance happened in the club. But here's what Gaga opens it up with. Check this out. He opens it up with, I was a little kind of suspect of the wise guys tapping me. So what I did was, basically, he said he put Scotch tape on the doors and the windows so that if he came before he left, so that when he came in the next morning, if he opened up the door and the tape was ripped, he would know they were in there. Now, listen, I'm not the most intelligent guy here right now. We know I lack some intelligence, but how did he get out of the place and then tape the doors? Right? Right? So he says he taped the doors before he left so that if they open them, he's going to see the tape is cracked, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is when he opens the friggin' door, the tape is going to crack.
Right.
What an idiot. How dumb is he?
He dug a tunnel.
How did he tape the door and get out? No, because he taped the door and the windows, he said. What a fucking idiot.
He's just stupid. How about in the epilogue? Wait, we'll get to 8 in a minute, whatever you read. Is that all you had for 8? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Gerard Socelli. I mean, yes, you're right. This is Gerard Socelli. He was right there.
All around the
He was right there. This is where everything happened. A couple blocks over, but
right.
Yes, he's watching it. Yeah, he's right, because that's how we were watching it on my mother's couch. Wow. He's saying that right there. Yes, because that is the neighborhood right there. Yep.
Well, how about in the epilogue when he goes over to Andy Gerard's and he tells the muscle outside of Andy's house, you tell Andy if he doesn't take that hit off my head, I'm going to throw him off his effing balcony.
That was in Florida.
What?
That was in Boca. That was in Florida. Because
Mm-hmm.
Andy lived in Florida mostly.
Well, yeah, that was last week when was
at the end. Andy lived in Florida mostly. Lived in Florida mostly. So okay, there's surveillance. So here's where I want to dip into it a little bit before we go, guys. So we hear a lot of things in this story. in the book here. We hear a lot of things in the book here, right? Yeah, that's a good one, Bobo. We're gonna burn the book after this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. The next chapter he uses. The next chapter is pretty good, Joey Pope. But okay, here's what's weird about it. All you see in the video is him driving around the neighborhood and recording these guys. How come you never saw him in the diner?
How come the people, because there were other people filming as well. So here's my question too. All this time he spent with all these guys, how come there was never more footage of him with these people doing all the things he said,
No, not more footage. There's no footage.
Well, no, just of him walking up and down the street saying hello.
That's it.
There's
him outside the oil joint, waving to Sal and Joe.
Or driving around in the van or the car. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's him surveilling.
Right.
This whole thing is him surveilling this and then putting this all together. There is, if he really wanted to kick this up a notch, so to speak, he would have the guys in the van recording him going into the luncheonette.
1,000%.
He would have them recording him talking to Andy, going up to Ralph Vaccaro, talking about the parking in the neighborhood. Where is all of that? All of that's missing. Everything that's in this book is missing.
Right.
It's not there, because if it was real, he would have that video of himself. There's no video of himself ever speaking to any wise guy or anybody other than saying hello to Joe and Sal once.
That's about it.
That's it, right?
It talked, and I'm sure he did talk to, Jimmy Higgins, because he gave his kid a job. So he says, I mean? That you can't believe anything the guy says. So we don't know if that ever happened or not. I mean, that's possible, but
he said John Riggy. He said he spoke to John Riggy in person. You mean to tell me John Riggy comes into your place and you don't have your guys in the van rolling tape? Come on. John Riggy.
Right. Imagine. I know.
So guys, do take a look at that. I promise you're not giving him any airtime by watching it. Other people have clipped it, and that's how we are able to view it on YouTube now. He's getting none of this. He does get something when you buy the book, which I got to be honest with you, it's a good read.
It is.
What is it? It's fiction, right? We call it fiction?
It's 1,000% fiction. I mean, the only thing that's real is they did go to jail and he did bug the place. That's about it.
No, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he did that. All this.
He was an informant. That's what he did. He was an informant.
Right.
He was never wired. Right?
No, he was afraid to do that. He didn't think that would be.
That even takes it even further. He was never wired. He was never seen with John Rigg. He said he spoke to him. That's a boss.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Right? He said he spoke to Andy on many occasions. That's a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Never a video of it. He said he spoke to Ralph Vaccaro, Spud, which he doesn't even know his name. There's no video of it. There's only video of him driving around North Newark with a camera. That's all there is.
Gianni said he golfed with Vinny Gigani every Saturday.
Oh my God. Well, guys, that's it for tonight. I mean, we went a little longer than we typically do, but this was an interesting chapter. We there's a lot of holes in it, and we picked it apart pretty good. So
good. Thank you.
I think we did good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, we would be doing this together, talking about this anyway. So we figure let's just push live and do it together. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely entertaining. I'm having a good time.
Any comments in there, guys? You wanted to anything? They really contributed as we went along. And I tried to pay attention to the chat as much as I possibly can. But
yeah, I did a little bit too. I know Octavia wasn't around for the first few chapters, so I think I hope she's caught up now.
Wow, thank you. Okay, Gerard Sichelli's from the neighborhood, so he would know. So he says, great job. So, all right, you guys did great. CG2, Mike Russell wears a water balloon for a okay, you. Okay, so he did contribute to these guys taking a. Okay, so he did contribute to these guys taking a pinch. Johnny, that's a very good observation. That's very good because I will tell you, he never was in court. Gaga was never in court,
Yeah.
right? He never had to go on the stand or anything. But
Well,
they took plea bargains. They all took gambling pinches.
yeah. Yeah, but I wonder if he wasn't in court because he wasn't actually a cop. I bet cops were in court.
Well, he was a disgraced cop.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? He was an
He
informant
wasn't credible.
and he planted all of this. However, when it came down to the pinch, they weren't inserting him in the picture.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? I at the end it was the state police, or was it the FBI? No, it wasn't federal.
It was state. It was a state charge.
Yeah, they didn't go federal, right? So
Octavia, no, he never had to attend court. I seriously think he was just an informant giving them information. I mean, really.
Gianni said I'm a celebrity now.
I just think that he was just an informant. You know, I don't think he was anything more than that. Just feeding them information.
Just getting his rocks off, watching this thing like a freaking kid on Christmas morning, like watching everybody get arrested. That was so disgusting. I hate his face.
God, can't stand him.
I hate his face. I do.
Yeah. So, guys, I got some great pictures of the club from Salvatore today. Sal went out on location. He sent me videos.
Oh my God.
He sent me some great stuff, Johnny. Sal was out there taking videos and pictures and everything. So I got great pictures of the building. We're going to put them up in the community tab. I'll probably do a video on it, and we'll try to show it next week when we do the next.
Next Sal's a great guy. Thanks for doing that. That's great. Hope he's watching.
Yeah.
You watching? You think?
Well, he doesn't. He watches me very closely. He tells what Sal's the best.
Sal's the best.
He's like a consigliere. He really. I can't put it up right now. It's in my phone. You won't be able to see it, Johnny. Hold on. I could try, but you won't be able to see it. Let me see. So, where's Salvatore?
Tommy, I wonder if you could put up the pictures that are in this book too.
Yes, I did. I put a few up in my community tab.
Oh, I got to check it out. I didn't see it. Okay.
Let me see. I'll try and pull it up right now if I can do it. Let me try this. Let me try this. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can go to my channel. I have put a couple up, Carm, today. Hold on a minute. Let's see if I can do this. Now, listen, I'm not that good with this stuff. You got to give me a minute here. Okay, so let's see if I can pull this off. Can you see that? No, hold on. Can you see that now?
I see.
Can you see the book?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the book. Is it scrolling up and down or no?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's the book right there. There's a couple of comments, Gerard, and Maureen. Okay, let me go to the next picture. Look at this. Oh, look. 22 rounded up. Can you see that or no?
Yes.
22 rounded up as lawmen move against the Genovese crime family.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that?
The picture before. Oh, yeah. The picture before that is just Sal and Joe. And then
you can see this?
Yep, Andy. Yep.
That's Philly DeNoia down there.
Oh, man.
This is Philly DeNoia Sr. That's Big John Nintendola back there.
Mm-hmm.
Pee-wee's right over here somewhere. No, there's Pee-wee right there. That's Tommy. See how small he is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know who the big guy is. I don't know. Jojo the Whale, maybe? I don't know. All right. And there's Andy again.
Oh, yeah. Andy and Corey.
There you go. There's Sal and Joe.
Yep. Sal and Josie. Yep.
Oh, my. 2 high-level made guys. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? $1 million. $1 million.
Oh, my God.
$1,000.
Oh, my God. It's great.
I can't with this guy.
So that's all I got for now. Hold on. Let me see if I could. I can't really do it. It won't show up. Hold on a minute. Sal is the best.
Yeah, that's awesome that he did that.
He is an incredible guy, man.
Yeah, some of these other pictures are just of cops. Nobody cares about them. Nobody cares.
I'm gonna try.
Well, thanks for showing up, guys. It's
Hold on.
I love the chat. They're so
Yeah, there's no way to see it, but that you can't see it. I'll put him in the community tab. There's no way to see it because you get like a glare. You get a glare from it.
Yes, Gerard, you're right. Phil just passed recently. I love that guy. Yep.
81, 80, 81. Yeah, they laid him out next door here.
Yeah, I remember. It was not too.
Yeah, not that long ago. It was
It wasn't
summertime.
that long ago. I remember you sitting outside.
Yeah. He was a gentleman. He was a really, really, really good guy.
Yeah.
Wow, what a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his club was on Bloomfield Avenue. Philly's club was on Bloomfield Avenue.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was good.
up and
He
down.
was a gentleman to everybody. Yeah, he was a gentleman.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we're gonna go out with this song. Hopefully, you did enjoy this. We're gonna go out with a little Sopranos on the way out. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. We had a good time, right, Carl?
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
This was excellent.
We'll see you next Monday.
Wait, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can put this on real quick. If this works, it might not work. It might work. Carmela, you're in your groove now, girl. Glad you enjoying it. Yeah, we're having a good time. Thank you, guys. All right, let me play this. Let me play this little clip going out here. Here we go. Let's rock and roll out. Oh God. Nice. Look at that TV, huh? They could block us on this. You hear me, Carm, or no?
Yeah, I hear you.
What happens is, let's see how far they go here. Okay, they don't.
I watched time just to see the sign that says Elizabeth.
Wow. Elizabeth, you see that?
Yep.
That's you. I love it. I know, me too, Gianni. Wow, miss him. He's coming into Belleville now, right over there. My church right there. That's McCarter Highway.
Right now.
That's Lyndhurst. Wow. Oh my God. I'm still here. It's crazy.
And he's neighbors with a.
It's so crazy because I'm still here and I see all these things still.
Mm-hmm.
You know, isn't that weird?
And North Caldwell.
Yeah, I went to the house. There's a video on my thing that I went right to the house. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have stopped by to say hi to some people.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're logging out. I'm going to hit end stream right now. Carmela, hold on a minute. We'll go backstage and chat a bit before we go. All right, thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and hopefully you are enjoying this. We will see you next Monday where we tap into Here's Looking at You, Mikey, right?
Yes. Here's Looking at You, Mikey. Mm-hmm.
So we're going into the surveillance aspect next Monday. So look for that one. That should be we should have a nice chapter next week. All right, guys. Nice. Thank you all for stopping by. Your presence is a present. We will see you guys later.
Night.
Hold on. End stream.